Hello, and welcome back to our 49th episode of the Labyrinth of Thieves campaign. We are your hosts and storytellers here from Wanderlustdnd, ready to dive into tonight's episode. We will be down Artrin for this evening, and we hope that he will return next week. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel as we post new episodes every other Wednesday. Well, Trauma Team, you lot really know how to get yourselves into trouble. Last time, you found yourselves once again in a hellish nightmare within the West Repair Yard. Please stop going there. But at least this was an illusion, I think. Chasing after the fox, Gizmo found himself at the edge of the world, staring over a rickety bridge to where Al's body waited in a cage. Standing between him and Al was just a few more armored warriors. Caché, Artrin, and Fenris soon joined, and you all attempted to rescue Al, fighting warriors, drones, and breaking apart bridges. Meanwhile, Al was having a cup of tea with the fox, but promptly shunted himself out of my really cool trap into, I think he put his consciousness somewhere in the astral sea. And was soon beset by pirates, apparently, who sail the wild space, looking for lost consciousness, which gave me a cool idea for another campaign, but we won't go there. Understanding the danger he was in, Al called Razlaire for help, and the demon appeared right beside Al's body, not his consciousness. The battle continued, while you all focused on removing the wards and charms holding Al. Razlaire and Fenris fought back against the drones and the fox's illusions until she appeared, cornering Fenris away from the rest of you. Before any of you could react, the fox kissed Fenris, binding her with powerful magic, and in the process lost one of her spectral tails. Silver light shattered, the hilt flying towards Gizmo, who managed to catch it. Realizing the power of the fox before you, Razlaire called all of you to come to him before Fenris and the fox could unleash all hell on you, and he teleported you all to safety. Well, safe might be a little bit of a strong word, but he brought you to his lounge, and welcomed you with drink and food, which I don't think any of you took except for Al, and you questioned his intentions, his motives, but he soon kind of grew tired and sent you all to bed. I believe we ended last game with you going to bed and leveling up to level 12. I think we rolled hit die as well, so everybody is all good. Before we fully jump back in, was there anything anybody wanted to do before they go to sleep and click their long rests? Nope.
No.
Okay. Okay. So, morning arrives, well, morning-ish, about 4 hours later for two of you. We'll start with Caché. You wake from your trance. I'll let you decide how well you slept, knowing all of the information that you were given yesterday and all the things that happened. How did Caché rest?
Not well at all. Definitely suffered from some dreams.
Rough dreams. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say nightmares, but rough dreams.
Kind of definitely don't feel as rested as maybe you were intending or hoping. But as you wake, I actually feel something kind of strange in one of your pockets. Something that wasn't there before.
I go and pull that out.
Okay. Pull out a small little vial with a dark red substance inside.
Does it look like blood?
Kind of twisting it. It moves like congealed old blood. And you see written in Fenris's handwriting, Enya.
Ooh.
So she slipped that into your pocket. Sometime.
Interesting. Things I can be doing with that. Caché starts whistling as she finishes with preparing herself for the morning.
Fair enough. You wake kind of away. You have a private little suite to yourself, same as Gizmo. Same as Artrin as well. And you actually hear like across the floor, but you don't really see anything. There's seems like movement, even though you can't see them.
As soon as I hear that, I pull my gun at it.
Okay.
I don't shoot, but I just just as a reactionary. Oh crap! There's something in my room, and then point.
Oh my god! I didn't put out my dice. Oh my god! What was I thinking? What kind of DM am I? Hang on. Went to roll and I don't have anything. I'll cut this. Oh god, no. Okay. So pulling your gun out, and even though you don't see this thing, you just aim straight at the creature. The poor little what are they? Quasits? Little quasits appears. Little bug kind of exterior, really long antennas. His legs kind of bend backwards in weird kind of shape, but he's like holding on to like a platter. It's not have any food on it, but just a little platter, and he just looks at you and then scurries away.
Holster my gun, and I want to check on Terry.
Terry appears.
I am going to look at Terry and just go, "You show me the last state of the house. At least the last time something different happened in the house."
How are you connecting with Terry?
I am opening my mind.
Okay. Kind of open your consciousness, your mind to Terry. And they'll show you kind of like the last remnants of the house. I do believe they were kind of set in the house, and then you called them to you, correct?
Yes.
They've been kind of sitting in there. Okay. Pretty dark, which is quite comfortable for Terry. Terry's happy out, just floating through the house and just keeping an eye on things. And you all were gone for quite a few hours, and in the, I'd say, very early morning, 2 or 3 a.m., a key slides into the door, and there is movement within. Terry has very good dark vision, being a nightmare. You do see military uniforms, and you see someone. God damn it! Yeah, that would make sense that you'd see them. You don't see your handler, who you might have thought would have been it. Let me get their details. Hang on. Where is all of my tabs? This is what I'm talking about today, guys. I'm so sorry. I might just be a little bit...
Okay, I'm getting a quick phone call. I just need to jump off for a second.
No worries. It gives me a second to get this military. There we are.
My hit dice are at 54. More than it's ever been.
Oh my gosh. You have 54 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you.
Goodness. Okay.
You're just under one half of me.
Yeah. Good half, though.
Caché is not much higher than you.
Mm. Yeah, I need to manage my spells.
Yeah, I'm just picking spells there.
Nope.
Back, sorry guys.
That's alright. Everything okay?
Yeah, all good.
All good.
Electrician.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Good.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. Yeah, Kiliad. You see Gilead leading a group of men into your house. They tear the place asunder, looking for information. They rip apart your works, where you're like, you have a little workstation down below where you kind of usually clean your weapons and keep things. They take everything, any extra bullets you had stored there, your tools. They take your uniforms. Yeah. They raid Gizmo and Al's little workshop. I'm assuming both of you usually keep things in your bags of holding, or you have your sacks.
A decent bit, but there is some like half-started projects and things there, like as well.
Terry's very upset because the military, or the individuals, the men and women there, they tear apart the plants, looking for things in the dirt. They destroy the dandelions.
Devastating.
And then as they're starting to leave, Terry's being summoned by you at that point. Just as he's kind of pulling out of the house and leaving, no one sees him. He's just a little shadow following all of them. You do see wards, like like the glyph of warding.
Yeah.
You see he shows you that those have been put up in the house.
Yeah. And who did you say was there again?
Gilead, Air Colonel Gilead is the one leading that.
Oh, that asshole.
That asshole from the very beginning. Yeah. House has been claimed by the military again.
Going back there, Chevy.
Just kind of smiles at you, and you get the sense, since your mind is still open to Terry, that wasn't really Terry's home to begin with. So he doesn't seem too upset. He's just happy to be back with you.
You can stay in my shadow for a while. I'll figure out my own. And around the weird room.
Yeah. Okay. So you're up 4 hours before Gizmo, but when you if you step out of your own little suite, there is a beautiful table just laid with food. Steaming hot coffee, sausages, bacon, eggs, everything you can think of. It is absolutely enticing the second you walk out of the room. Loads of food.
I have to say, he puts on a good spread. I'm gonna go towards eat and wait for Al, because he should be up soon as well.
Perfect. Okay. Speaking of, Al.
Yes.
You wake from your trance as well. I'm assuming you stayed with Razlaire, didn't go back to the others.
Yeah, I'd probably be. I mean, does Razlaire sleep as well?
You don't actually know, because you haven't seen him do anything. You're just coming out of your trance.
Am I not aware of people around me when I'm in a trance? Maybe not.
So.
Are you? What did you say?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, because then if you were trancing, you could keep watch. I think that's one of the abilities of the clock forges and the war forges, is that they can rest, but they're still idle, if that makes sense. They can watch.
Yeah.
I'd say if anything, you did not feel him stay by you very long.
Okay.
Into your trance. However, as you're kind of coming out of your trance, you do see him.
He's back.
Oh yeah, he's close by. He's actually just slightly across the room from you, kind of lounging in a plush armchair, wearing very little. But interestingly enough, as he's kind of lounging there, he's actually stroking the under chin of Hoover, who is on his shoulder.
Ah, that's nice.
And you just kind of hear, what a delightful little creature. I'm assuming he belongs to one of you.
Oh, Hoover. Yes. I think Gizmo freed him. Gizmo decided.
Just
Well, we
continues.
found him at one point in actually the same place that we found that orb. God, feels like a long time ago now.
He was near the orb.
He was.
Well, that makes a lot more sense.
Hmm.
He kind of turns to Hoover. Don't worry, little shadow. All monsters are welcome here. And Hoover kind of purrs and rubs against Razlaire's face and then kind of skulks off, chasing who knows what.
Well, I am feeling rather hungry.
Well, there is plenty of food awaiting you with your friends. But first, and he'll kind of saunter over to you and hand you a cup of coffee. It's kind of steaming. I'll say, for the purposes of this, Al, what is your passive perception? I think it's really high, isn't it? 18? Yeah. I'd say by looking at him, just as he's approaching you, he doesn't look like he's rested. While he didn't take any damage in that fight, he definitely doesn't look like he's fully recharged.
Okay.
Okay.
I offer him the coffee that he just handed me and be like, well, you look like you could use a cup yourself.
You need not worry about me. I stayed up. My gems and I have rewarded the casino. Just in case Freylin decides she wants to try to sneak back in, which she'll probably try to do.
She does seem troublesome. And powerful. But I have no doubt you can keep us safe.
His face falls a little bit at that statement.
Oh, really?
Just a slight bit. There's such a coy smile always on his face, but it falters
Like
slightly.
he looks worried.
Not worried. More, your words struck something in him that you'll be able to keep. He'll be able to keep you safe, and he'll kind of sit on the edge of the bed and kind of facing you. And it's been a very long time since someone. And kind of pauses. Others in your place would have jumped at the opportunity the fox offered you to ensnare a demon. And he kind of touches his wrist, and for the first time you actually see his glamour slip that contains his demon form kind of pales through a bit, and you see that there's scars on his wrists. Kind of scorched into the obsidian sheen of his skin. The wards she used on your cage were specifically designed to keep me out, warded against demon kind. Much like the wards I use on this place to keep unwanted fae out. Even the curses she put on you required holy magic to break, which I can't. And you see the fangs a little bit on his mouth as he says this. She's teasing me. Claiming you like she did was a message. To you, to your friends, and to me.
Or she didn't claim anyone. She may have tried.
I do always enjoy your optimism, Al. But there's some things you can't hide, even from me. And he'll float the stone out of your pocket. This stone is linked to me. I can feel you through it. Feel your happiness, your fear, your intentions. And the loneliness I felt through this when you called my name. The crushing silence of wherever you were. Where did she put you?
Boom. Fortunately, I needn't have panicked quite as much, as I was quite rapidly beset by individuals looking to, I'm not sure, dispose of me.
What was it like being back?
Truly terrifying at first, and then rather worrying, and that was about it, really. I can tell you when I first arrived there, I did not want to be alone again for eons.
Yes, those places can be quite lonely. And kind of clear his throat and float the stone back to you and twist his wrist, and something else appears in his hand. This is for non-detection. Kind of plays with it in his fingers. Against magic, the fox will definitely have access to track you and your friends. If you attune to it, neither I nor the fox will be able to find you, track you, or feel you. It is your choice if you want to use it. I just never want you to feel like that again. He'll hand the pendant to you.
He'll take it, and look up at him and smile and be like, that's very, very kind of you. And very sweet. But will this, or would this, shield my friends as well, as they are as likely to be tracked, tried upon as I?
Unfortunately, no. It would be only for you. That's all I have access to at the moment.
I wouldn't want to refuse a gift. But I'll be honest, I feel more comfortable with the stone you gave me, knowing that I can just wish you to appear.
Well,
But I could keep this on the off chance that something were to actually be hunting us that I'm aware of.
it's yours. I was slightly worried that because she'd honed her attention on you, Gizmo, and your friends, that you'd want to distance yourself from me.
You came in and saved us?
Well, I'm quite good at that.
I'm very grateful that you are.
A little bit
I'm
more.
very grateful that you are, in that you exist. So,
It's an elegant way of putting it, but I'm glad you exist as well, Al. And he will kiss you passionately.
I will reciprocate, but I will pull away because I am actually quite hungry.
Oh, fine, yes. Friends are probably awake by now anyway. I have a bit of business to attend to, but whenever you and Gizmo are ready to speak with Venom, call my name.
Buddy.
You go join Caché, who is stuffing her face.
I will do the same. Good morning, Caché. I see you have the same idea as I did.
Oh, morning.
It is like nothing you've ever tasted. It is glorious. And we'll say for the sake of this, 4 more hours pass. Hopefully you're not eating the whole time, but maybe you are. Who knows? Gizmo,
I'm lamenting about Fenris.
there you go. Gizmo, you wake as well. So you are all back together. How are we all feeling? Gizmo, you can mosey out. How are you feeling?
I think Gizmo had a pretty rough night's sleep as well. A lot of nightmares. But has woken up feeling that the only way forward is to work, and immediately sets to work on sketches for new ideas on upgrading the suit and adding features, and has like I would say a eureka moment in remembering in the dream some of the designs that Helio was using in producing the envoys to utilize in his own suit that will actually add to the powers given by the Fey side of the engineering.
Very good.
I took the Fey touched feet.
Nice. Very good. That comes with a few spells, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
So he's too near to utilize that Fey element a bit more.
Very good. Very, very good.
Oh, I also switched out one of my saved infusions. I got rid of, I can't actually remember what it was I got rid of, but I never used them. I think it was the Eyes of the Eagle or something, and I got Boots of Striding and Springing.
Okay.
Now I don't have them attached. I just have them as a possible infusion to switch out to. But I did switch out my Slippers of Spider Climbing for a Ring of Mind Shielding.
Very good. Okay. Very good. Oh. Did Chris freeze?
Right.
Nope, there he is. Okay.
I'm back.
Oh, very good.
What's
Very
it?
good.
You got that. Awesome.
Yeah, I got the Ring of Mind Shielding.
Yeah.
And then was there anything else or?
No, that was it. That
Okay.
was
Oh, good. Okay.
very much it. Yeah.
Very
So
good.
that's the only other thing.
Awesome. Yeah. So definitely attuning to the or kind of utilizing some of the things you've been learning from the envoys. Definitely. Very, very cool. Hoover is back with you. I should say you didn't even notice that he left, but
Where did you go? Oh, look at you.
he's all happy out chasing a few, like, you kind of see like this weird like weasel kind of creature that's got like multiple, way too many legs. It kind of chases, he's chasing that, and then he comes back to you. He's just
I'll use my the artificer feature to let you can animate a thing to do something. I'm just gonna create like a little clockwork toy for him to chase around.
Oh, he loves it. Constantly batting it around, and yeah, he's
It falls apart and comes back together again. He runs.
has like a little laser toy. You just run after it. Brilliant.
Hello?
Okay. Nope.
Sorry guys,
you're
I
back?
cut out again. So it
Yeah.
looks like I'm gonna be cutting out maybe a little bit for some reason.
I think we're all the same, man.
Okay.
It's not just you.
Oh, you two guys as well. Sorry, I didn't hear.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's definitely just happening to me. Yeah.
No. It's all three. All three of you freeze for a moment. And,
Okay.
And it's always and I bet you it's always like.
yeah, it is.
No, except for Miguel. Miguel's the Barney Stinson. He's just
He's just always the one that just looks so smart all the time. Yeah.
Well, thank you. You said it, not me.
Hoover's good. Terry's still kind of hanging out with Caché nearby, not going too far. Humphrey, though, is kind of just strangely quiet, sitting beside one of the sofas and just kind of keeping to himself.
Walk over to Humphrey if once I've finished stuffing my face.
Okay.
I'll sit in the sofa beside where he's stood.
He's kind of not twiddling his thumbs, but he's kind of like, he's looking down at his hands and his thumbs are just like moving like that. Yeah, and he's just in quiet contemplation, it seems.
All good, little man?
Where did you all go? One moment you're around me and the next you all vanish.
It seems we got teleported to some kind of other realm of existence by an incredibly powerful fey fox creature.
We're just not gonna have the robot voice. Sorry, everyone. I can't get it. I don't know why it's not working.
That's okay.
And I have to talk so like monotone with the voice modulator, or just like freaks out. So, all right. Okay. So he continues to just kind of twist his little hands. I was alone again. You all left me alone again.
So, sorry, we all left you alone again. That was the last bit, yeah.
Yeah. That's what he said.
That's true. That did happen. And I will say this time it wasn't because we stopped paying attention, or I stopped paying attention. As much as it seems to be, regardless, the case that you end up being left behind.
A long pause. Kind of looks up at you. Where's Fenris?
She was taken by the fox. She's been corrupted, turned over to the fox's side. It seems it may be some time before we're able to free her.
I'd say Caché, Gizmo, you hear that too. Humphrey kind of looks at all three of you. What are you gonna do?
Well, at the moment,
Shay's muted.
Ooh, tech issues, guys. Ooh.
Oh, really?
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yep.
there you are.
Yeah.
What did you say, Caché?
Whatever it takes.
We
At
don't
the
stand a
moment-
chance against it right now, though.
Exactly.
Fenris was one of the most strong-willed people I've ever met. And her mind was taken over like that. One of those creatures at full power like that, it's hard to stand against. We don't want to go in unprepared.
Great.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Maybe sometime.
And I'll kind of reach into the bag of holding, and I'll take out the hilt of the blade, and I'll kind of hold it out somewhat. We still have this. I think I still feel some remnants of Silverlight's power in it. It might be possible to reignite them. But for now I can hold on to it and keep it safe. There's hope yet. Well, put the hilt away.
Perhaps she can help us.
Perhaps you
Maybe.
can help us.
It's in that hilt. Silverlight.
I'll take the hilt back out.
See if we can communicate with.
I'm gonna take a minute
Okay.
to just focus on the hilt and see if I do remember that when I caught it first, I heard just a screaming dragon. So I'm kind of doing I'm doing the thing of like when you think a loudspeaker is going to go off, you kind of hold it off.
Okay.
Or when
So-
when you phone call someone and you know they're really loud,
Yeah.
they're going to be
Yeah,
like,
just fold it away from it, yeah.
okay, yeah, okay.
Okay, so it is. It's the hilt itself has cracked. Well, the hilt is fine, but the blade part is cracked. It kind of looks like the narsil at the moment. Just that little like pokey section that's left. There is just kind of raw green kind of energy in some of the cracks and breaks. There's no more screaming. You'll be happy to know. But there is a tormented silence, it feels like, if you're kind of trying to connect to it.
I think after suffering such damage, it might be a while before they're in any condition to ever commune with us. It may take a little bit of repair work first. And I don't even know the first thing about how to repair a blade like this.
Another thing to add to the list then.
Yeah. I'll keep it safe. I'll buy back holding.
Yep. There's
Let me know if
definitely
you want to have a look at that. I'll give it to you straight away.
Don't
Sorry, God.
No, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think there was a pause, and then I was like, and then sorry. Okay. No, I was just gonna say that there is definitely something there, but it's just, yeah, as you said,
Diminished.
Quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we do next? Like, do we go back to Caché's home? I heard it was compromised.
Yeah, about that. So, Terry graciously showed me the last moments before I summoned him to me. And they had cleared the home, taken everything, destroyed, taken any of your projects.
What? No! I spent ages on that.
Yeah, and then
Oh.
warded up the house.
Oh,
Bastards!
it was a very, very thorough, so.
Shall
So
I just...
most of the components were bespoke. I had to make them myself. Oh, it's as good as. They will pay. Every one of them will pay.
Just gonna move the military to hostile.
I would.
It was the military, not the constabulary.
All right, well, we're going to a different page now, so
Forget
I'll
about
fix it in a second.
Please don't make the constabulary have something against it. We hate you now.
We hate everyone. We are hostile to everyone.
You know what? Fuck them all.
God made it so.
But yes, you guys can continue. Sorry.
Think priorities are so we can get a few more answers, fix that envoy.
I would agree. I don't think there's anything we can really decide upon until then.
So get to
Also,
work.
Razlaire has been very nice and put us up in his house. And he did seem a little bit upset that I hadn't done anything about that yet, so...
What do you mean?
Well... It was a
Does he
couple
want
of days after...
Does he want a welcome basket?
No. He just wants Venom fixed. Honestly, he seems to care about him.
Well, the more I know about the situation, I won't say I'm coming to trust him. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that for who he is, but I don't blame him. Not as much anyway, it's hard to let go, but if his intentions are as good as you say they are, then we should get to work.
So far, he's given me no indication to think otherwise. He's been honest. He hasn't told me everything. But I don't think he's necessarily lied to me either.
The
That's
best
like
liars
lies of
only tell
omission
the
to me.
truth.
This is true. And maybe
That's-
he's obfuscating something else. Quite
Look,
possible.
like I said, I spent time in the Fey courts, and liars get nowhere. In fact, they make it nigh impossible. Still doesn't mean that people don't get away with lying.
Well, in terms of how he feels about Venom, I believe.
One thing we should be wary of, though, is that Venom was more so designed for warfare, for combat. They'll be far more capable. So, in case anything goes wrong, we need to be ready. I haven't exactly perfected this, and by that I mean this is a trial run.
That what everything you do?
Yeah, I only believe in trial runs. If it doesn't work the first time, throw it out.
I think
No,
at
if
least we should be able to exit quickly if anything were to go wrong.
Exit, contain,
To contain
subdue.
him, that would be tricky.
Well,
I don't know, we're pretty
If you-
capable.
DM, question for the DM.
Hang on. Caché's been trying to say something there.
Oh, sorry.
well, if you were to just, if you were to just like maybe twist a couple of wires, that might, make a weakness for us later on.
I'd be a
I
little
don't
more
want to
complicated.
hurt them. It's not their fault. They've literally have their sentience, their choice taken from them. That's not on them. I'm looking for methods to prevent any harm, but the envoys are an extraordinary machinery, organic mixture. I don't know them well enough to say that what I'm doing won't do far more than I think it will. As it is, what I'm trying to do is already difficult enough, and I don't even know if that'll work.
I'm just saying that perhaps being doesn't need to be hurt, but it might need to be weak.
I can certainly have a look, but I wouldn't hold out much hope in that. I'm only barely getting to grips with how they work.
I think we should be more wary of the fact that even with our intentions being entirely good, it's possible Venom will decide that we're a threat and try to destroy us.
He did Pierre,
Say again?
like he did Pierre.
He did Pierre.
That wasn't their choice. That was after
No.
their choice was taken from them.
That's his capabilities.
Of course. But I've also seen your capabilities, Caché.
I've seen what all of us can do.
Exactly.
Speaking of that, though, where's Artrin? It would be great to have another pair of hands.
I feel like Artrin's just eating.
Oh,
I do think
he's just
Razlaire
behind that
specifically said-
mountain of
yeah,
chicken breast.
mountain of food.
Is-
He's been eaten away. Yeah.
DM, didn't Raphael said only Gizmo and Al can go in?
I think Razlaire, yeah.
Oh
Razlaire.
yeah, that's right. Okay. Well,
Razlaire.
Razlaire.
Raphael.
I was playing Baldur's Gate today. My apologies.
We don't. No trademarks. No trademarks.
I mean, they kind of do have similar vibes. Anyway, except for one's a fiend, one's a demon. Anyway, Razlaire did mention that he wouldn't quite feel comfortable having Caché and Artrin in there.
Yeah, no, I forgot about that. Okay. Okay.
But in your little screen, Gizmo, you do hear from Echo. She seems upset. Perhaps I should apologize? I don't know if that would help.
I think it's worth making the attempt, whether it's successful or not.
I didn't know what that man was to anyone. But I didn't regret what I did. At the time, that was my designation, my target. But I do feel bad now.
Feeling bad for something like that is a good thing. And they took that from you. If you want to try and make amends, then I think that's a good start.
You won't hear anything else, but you will see the little question for release.
I pulled the lever.
Echo does appear. Okay. His little hidey hole.
I like the difference in scale. Like, just for me, it's just like a big lever. Whatever else.
This is this teeny tiny little.
Yeah.
Echo does appear. Caché, and Al. You see, it's just a teeny tiny little or like a little. Well, you describe it actually. This is the first time Caché's really seeing it, Gizmo. So.
Well, I did bring them out back at the yeah, but yeah, they're essentially like somewhat of a drone mixed with a gyroscope, and at the center of the gyroscope is a kind of an intricate filigree twisted piece of metal, and it seems to be almost that from this metal is generating some form of mild electrical magnetic current that's moving these parts, that extends out to this kind of little hovering contraption.
Question, because I can't remember who knows what when it in terms of echo. Does Caché know the implications?
In the last game, I told everybody that
yes.
Echo was Stalker, which you knew him as the puppet master, so you know everything about it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
You know that this little device was the puppet master, and before that was Stalker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Many names to this one little construct.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's kind
Echo,
of like
puppet master, Stalker.
remade it over and over again, new names. So yeah. But Echo does appear, and I feel like would just kind of float towards you, Caché.
Bit taken aback.
Give him a chance, Caché.
This is a really interesting moment for a construct who's not felt this way, and a construct who shouldn't be really feeling anything. It's so fascinating. How would they... Lower a bit, so they're not above you, Caché. They're more, or your eye level at this point. I'm sorry for the hurt I caused you. I take responsibility.
Caché looks into this floating construct.
DM, is this the first time that we've heard Echo speak aloud?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Beyond like little things like maybe like affirmative.
Yeah, affirmative. This is very clear, and I'd say, and particularly for you, Al, the puppet master was in your head. They spoke to you. They took Lorian's face. They were all up in your business. And
Mhm.
it is spine-tingling how similar this voice is to that moment.
I might also say that I think you owe Humphrey and myself maybe a bit of an apology also. All things considered.
Echo. Stalker.
They don't turn to you right away, Al. They continue to look at Caché in the way they can look. There's no eyes, but they seem to be focused on Caché at the moment. Yeah.
Miguel,
Miguel, we
you're not
can't hear
making-
you.
Oh, that's weird.
Your game
Yeah?
might be down low.
your game might be low, yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
He hear you
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. I've seen in the last 24 hours something foxes control people's minds. I can accept if you have no responsibility for your actions. And I also understand being remade, how that changes you.
There is no affirmative nod movement from this construct due to its size, its stature, its build. But Gizmo, you do sense more, since it echoes more of a part of you. Relief. Floats then to Humphrey. To Al. Looks to you, Al. I'm sorry I nearly killed you. I would have tried to bring you back.
Not sure that would have gone very well.
You would have been stronger. But it would have been painful, like the others.
While I do like the idea of getting stronger without having to do anything, I'm not sure I like the whole pain thing. That doesn't sound too nice. And
Again,
besides, we should really be asking people's permission for that kind of thing. Consent is very important.
choice is very important. We'll float down to Humphrey. And you don't hear anything else. The two seem to be exchanging things.
Lead him to it.
Echo will float back then to Gizmo. Slot back in.
How do you feel?
Not good, but better.
Good time.
I have a lot to answer for. I think all the envoys do. But I hope we can make amends.
I think we're taking the right steps to do that. I believe that. I agree with you. But the fact that you see that and want to do that, that's so important. And it's worth protecting, it's worth fighting for.
I see that now. Words from that day that you said to me fell on a program that wasn't willing to listen. But I think I'm understanding now. Thank you.
Thank you. Friend.
Friend. Well, it's delightful that you're all just laying around. I'm assuming the food was good. Razlaire will be standing in the doorway.
It was delicious. We're all just digesting.
Good. You need to be fed, powered up for what you're doing next. What are you doing next?
I think Gizmo and I are going to have a little look at the patient. And I was wondering maybe Humphrey would like to come too. Perhaps they can speak construct the construct.
We shall ask them. But you, and he'll look at you, Caché, and Artrin. Do you plan on snooping around my house?
Some business.
Can't hear you, Miguel. Sorry.
I have some business to take care of.
Oh. Well, I'll leave you to it then. When you're ready to leave, let me know and I'll let you go.
She nods.
Very good. Well, if you two will follow me, we will go see if Venom is feeling up to guests.
To you?
Okay. So, heading up the stairs, exactly where you saw him before. Let me just... So, Gizmo, you and Al are led up kind of a spiral iron kind of staircase, leading kind of further up into the lounge, and to one of the rooms off to the side there. We'll just be in. Razlaire will enter, actually, and go into the room, but will hold his hand up to you, Gizmo. Just give me a moment. And
Sure.
Step inside. He doesn't close the door all the way. It still hangs ajar. But you hear him basically conversing with someone, asking if he would be willing to have 2 guests and another construct. Well, actually, 2 constructs. Kind of hear a hesitant reply. Razlaire will appear again. Go on, both of you. Humphrey as well. Look down at Humphrey. Al, as you kind of go in, Razlaire will actually step between you and Gizmo and just stare. I think, actually, how tall are you, Gizmo?
I forget what we established, but I'm gonna say about like 7.5 foot.
7.5. Okay, so you're actually just
7.5.
slightly taller than it. Like he's kind of.
I think it was actually about 7 foot, actually.
I think you're about 7 foot, so you are taller than Razlaire, in this form at least. And he just kind of like eye to eye with you for a moment and just doesn't say anything, but there is a notable threat. And then he will move around you and go. Gizmo, it's the first time you're seeing Venom, I believe.
Yes.
Not much has changed, Al, since the last time you saw Venom, except that they don't actually appear in the Cass Venom form, the tiefling with the blue skin. They're just fully in their envoy form. And Gizmo, you see your time not only in the mind of Stalker, but seeing Stalker being built by Helio and all of that. And you've seen Venom before, but there is something significantly wrong. They cannot walk fully straight to you. There is a limp in their step, like their legs are misaligned. And you actually see that they have kind of large plates on their shoulders that have been blown slightly off. And there is a huge gaping like hole in their back. Their face itself has no emotion, very similar to Stalker. But they actually approach you, Gizmo, first and kind of limp towards you, and then just kind of scan you. Like all over. Taking you in. What do you want?
Ring of Maya shielding.
That's fine. That's fine. They're more observing you.
Cool.
Yep.
Just so that's as well.
No, thank you for the reminder, though. And you hear a very monotone voice. Simple design. Heavyweight alloy. Aspects of wood. Anchors allow for transformation. You have multiple forms.
Oh, you picked that up very quickly. It's impressive.
Conductors. Sound deafeners. Complex internal plating. Familiar. No clock forge I've seen before.
You can say that again.
Who is your creator?
Well, that would be me.
You created yourself.
In a manner of speaking.
How did that work?
Let me show you. I'll take an action to exit the suit.
Already?
Yeah.
Poor Artrin.
In front of me.
Poor Artrin!
Yeah.
Artrin still thinks you're a brain in a jar.
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, hang on. I gotta roll for this. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so you leave the suit. And Venom's eyes clock you, your smaller form, immediately.
I like fly up in front of the suit. Tower.
Head tilts to the side.
It really is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
There is silence. You have dumbfounded the construct. It is trying to understand what it is seeing before him. You don't sound. What is your designation?
Well, from my homeland, I'm known as Kai Quinn on the Night Song. But most people call me Gizmo. And you're welcome to call me such.
Gizmo. Completely dumbfounded, this construct. Continuing to stare at you. Al, what are you doing through this whole process? Just watching all of this happen?
I was observing at first, and then, saw that Venom was so taken with Gizmo. And then I was kind of shocked when Gizmo revealed himself immediately. I was like, oh, very quickly. Gizmo, God, put some clothes on.
This comes
I
out
am naked.
fun
I've been piloting naked all this time.
as
Canon.
Cannon, right there. What?
I mean, if you've got, like, air conditioning inside the thing, climate controlled capsule.
This is an envoy.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
the
I'd
second
probably be-
generation. Yeah.
I'll be talking to Gizmo, just be like, or not to Gizmo, to Humphrey. Well, so this is Venom. Quite
Venom's
big.
head.
Quite scary.
Venom's staring at Gizmo and then just immediately looks down at Humphrey.
Nope.
With the extensive damage to Venom, there's still quite a quick movement about like their head, being that they're like they're just kind of keeping an eye on everyone at the moment. And I think Venom met Humphrey last time, if I remember correctly. I think Humphrey went with you the last time.
In with me to meet. Ooh,
I can't remember. I thought
I
he
don't think
did.
so. No, because I think Humphrey was still at home.
Okay. So yeah, all right. So
Like
then
a
yeah, he'll do
teleporters.
something very similar. He won't turn towards Humphrey, but he'll look and he will scan Humphrey's make. You hear flexible alloy, easy to break, need improvement, slow, but extended legs. Stairs won't be a problem. Like he just starts rattling off like everything he's seeing about Humphrey, and Humphrey just is kind of covers parts of it. Like, it's
Yeah.
a little like, hey.
It's
But
okay, Humphrey.
what
He
you're
seems
both
a bit direct.
what you're both getting is just the amount of observation that this entity has.
Speaking of that, I'm going to like as he's looking over towards Humphrey, especially, I'm going to start slowly like flying around to get angles on him, like eyeing up measurements. I'm never going to try and fly out of his like range of sight, like his eye line. And I'm not going to try and fly around quickly, just moving around and like taking into account the differences that I saw between him and Stalker, like things in that I could incorporate into my own suit.
Very good.
And especially trying to take into note of like where this computational power is coming from. Being very impressed by the observations.
Ah, very good. Okay. So go ahead and make me... Not insight, because it's a construct. So, investigation? Yeah.
Investigation check.
So I use your intelligence, so, because you're really, like, you're observing him,
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh, God.
Natural 1.
What?
But, I'm gonna use a chrono shift to make him reroll.
Oh, thank you.
Reroll it.
Thank you so much. Oh, that would
That's
suck.
awful.
Right. Part 2.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Much better.
Okay, good.
That's a 28.
Ooh, that's
Bro.
way better.
Yeah,
Jeez.
natural 19 on that one.
Natural 19.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay. So there's gonna be a lot here. I apologize in advance. So if there's paper and pens that you might need, just might want to grab them. So upon first kind of, I guess, observation of Stalker, or not Stalker, sorry, woo, Venom. We'll start with the hands first, the kind of arm plates. They're just kind of resting down at Venom's side, but you actually see that a lot of the fingers have actually been dislocated in the joints. There's actually scales missing from their knuckles. And it looks like something very, like that they were using their fists very powerfully for something. And it's just shattered some of their knuckles. Yeah, again, their fingers are like bent in awkward, weird ways. So that's the first kind of major bit of damage that you see. then kind of not leaving their eye line, but kind of going towards where that big massive hole is in the back of their like shoulder joint and their shoulder blade, where that should be, and like on a regular mortal. You actually see dark scorch marks, as if venom was hit from behind by an explosion. And you can actually see that it has bent inward, and there's part of that Ethereum core at the center. You see it kind of sputtering. Like, that's how deep the hole is. And you remember with Stalker, like, they also had their front plate kind of open. And the core was very much in the center of them, and Venom seems to be very similar built. However, that core looks a lot bigger. But you're probably gonna have to get in there to, like, really see it. But it does look like that's an extensive amount of damage, and from that damage all the way down their back, that's what's affecting their gait. It has obviously dislocated some of the cabling and connections that they would have from the spinal cord down to their legs, and that's what's obviously causing the movement difficulty, which, as you're actually doing this and Venom is focused on Humphrey and then Al, you just hear, "Master Razlaire believes there is something wrong with me." Kind of spasms a bit, legs buckle, it's kind of a sputtering out. Perhaps he is right.
Seem a little worse for wear.
Like any of us, just need a bit of rest and repair. We'll have you going in no time.
Looks back at you, immediately, like, follows your movement, Gizmo. Why? It's very blunt, very short. Little bit of venom in the way he asks that.
Because you're worth it.
Moves away from both of you. Kind of plants their legs a little bit more, holds out their arms slightly, and just watches both of you.
Okay. I suppose that's the invitation that we need to get to work.
I will say there's a table full of just, like, everything you could possibly imagine. Razlaire has left for you. You see tools, you see parts of, like, envoy, like, meddling, plating, you see any and everything on a table kind of across the room. So it's all free for you. No energized gears, though, don't get excited. But you do see mithril, you do see a lot of different components all available. So what would you like to tackle first? There's three plate kind of things to tackle. There's the damaged hand plates, which are going to take about 6 hours. I've already done the hour calculation. I know Gizmo's here, so that'll probably cut down to, like, a redonkulous amount, because when you're building shit. So you've got the damaged hand plates, you have the exposed ribs and the recalibration of movement, which is going to be about 12 hours of work. And then you have the Envoy integrated software. So this is where Gizmo will really need to help out, because actually both of you have seen that code, but anything internal algorithms, you're going to have to do some in-depth stuff. So
you have to go inside.
You'll have to go inside. So what would you like to tackle first? Exterior or interior?
It might be worth going from the inside out.
Venom
Probably.
watches both of you.
I'm a bit nervous though that if we do that might induce an increased sensitivity to the pain of the damage that's being caused. It might be a case that internal damage is nullifying that. I'd like to maybe just have a quick look to see if that's something we can consider just before we get started into it, if that's all right.
We'll defer to you.
So I'm going to take a look at the work that needs to be done on the internal circuitry. I'll fly, and if I need to get close, I'll with permission, I'll ask to fly in as close as I can in my smaller form. But I want to kind of get to an idea that if we repair this, is that going to like essentially create like an increased pain sensitivity or like suffering sensitivity, and the rest of the damage is going to be, agony for them? Or is it the case if we fix those up, it won't? They won't. Yeah, you don't do it.
Okay. I can
Can I
totally
assist him with this?
Yeah, of course. So you kind of fly up, speaking. I'm assuming you guys are speaking to each other, and kind of go ahead and make me another investigation check. Although the 28 was very, very good, but this is now getting into the nitty gritty.
Advantage for that because
Advantage
helping.
because Al's helping you. Yeah. Humphrey's. Just
That'd be a 27.
Yeah, 27. You kind of approach, and Venom doesn't move, but is very much watching you. And as soon as you kind of go close to like their chassis, like where the potentially like the core is, and looking at the internal circuitry, they definitely do step back. And there is a pause where they say, "I don't feel pain."
And was that the same before and after for you? Has that always been the case? I have like the hands up.
Yes. Only I deal pain.
Okay.
It does seem like you've been a bit damaged, so... You didn't feel any pain while you were being damaged?
I don't remember.
That's what I'm worried about. Maybe you don't remember what the experience was like. Let me just check. If I have a closer look, I can say for sure. I just want to make sure this is okay for you.
Persuasion check. At advantage, just because of the way you're approaching it. He is going to...
Persuasion. I no longer have, because part of the Fey touch, I got a +1 to my charisma. I no longer have a -1.
Aw, yay!
I'm slightly nicer. Slightly. Persuasion check. That's a 13.
A 13. All right, you beat his insight. Kind of watches you. Looks to Al. Looks to Humphrey. Sits back for a moment, and the chassis opens, and like even like steam comes out. It is just like opening up into the heart of this construct. And just like Stalker, that core has mutated. It is having similar vibes of a mortal heart beating. That's that sputtering that you were seeing. And it is inside of the chassis is just covered in all of that code that is also in Humphrey, and what you saw on the envoy as well. I'll say, with kind of having this fully exposed now, the Ethereum core in the center is bigger than Stalker's, but one of the things that you notice is that it's like going to 3 different sections of Venom's body. There is one is going to their hands in particular, one is going to their legs, and then the other looks like it's going into like almost like this pocket section that you can't quite tell where it goes, but if you get closer and you're kind of like, especially with the rolls that you had, you actually notice that some kind of like shield generator. This thing is going nowhere, that it doesn't want to go. whoever falls under its fists is dead. With like by like the first hit, it is got some serious, like, you have power to yours, to your fists in your suit. Nothing. Like, I mean, this is stone. This is a building falling on someone. Left and right hands. And then that shield generator, you have no idea how much power there is into that, but this core basically fuels all three of those sections. And it actually looks like he could potentially divert them at different times, meaning that he would have an extra power to his shield, or an extra strength, or an extra bit to his legs. Like, it is... He ain't going anywhere.
Gizmo marvels for a moment at the sheer ingenuity. It's beautiful. And yeah, I'm just gonna have a quick look to see from the connections if the internal networks were to be repaired, if there seems to be any program in that for pain response or anything like that.
Nope. Doesn't seem to be
Okay.
anything with pain.
Okay, I think I agree with you then. We'll work on the internals first.
I think it might be worth it.
Right. Let's we'll prepare what we need here. I'm gonna kind of like go up to the table with all the supplies and like huddle up with Al. Just so I understand, how are we approaching this? Are we trying to aim and to remove the programming that was left by the army to remove the sentients as well?
I think so.
Okay.
I think that programming, I mean, for all we know, that's causing the corruption. For all we know, that's cascaded into a problem so great that this is what he's left doing.
Just making sure. And I hope that it's not misconstrued, the solution I have. It may look bad at first, but I think it'll work.
This solution.
Well, I figured that any approach, but the way that the script is rewritten, it's self-replicating. It's kind of like an organism. It's self-sufficient. Any attempt to try and heal just heals the programming. But if we target the programming specifically, treat it as if it's a parasite or a virus, we might be able to burn that out separately.
Interesting. Okay. I see. What are we targeting it with?
Well, Mog left me with some new tricks. I think something that might work specifically in this scenario.
Good man Mulg. Him and his strange machine.
Aye, but I'm grateful for him now. Okay, let's try this. So, with Al's assistance, I'm gonna look and try and find where in the scripts that's written, that's going all over the core and the rest of it, where the corruption points seem to be rooting out of, to try and find where those pieces of code might be embedded.
Okay. I would say easily done, especially with your last roll. You're now flying into the endpoint, which is just so cool. And you're kind of you're following and tracking the code itself and finding the areas of corruption. Please stop knocking. And you find there is that virus is actually the best way to describe it. What Dathius programmed into the envoys, right at the back of the stem of their spine and their cerebral cortex, things like that. That's where kind of like you saw and felt that's what it happened to Stalker. It's very similar to Venom as well. You find the program, and it's almost like malware in a way, a fail-safe. It's separate to the sentient code. It's almost like it's blocking it in a way, while it can continue to form. The originality is blocked, and you do also detect memory files blocked as well.
Okay. Well, in here now, in the moment, and watching this half organic, half script, half mechanical thing, Gizmo's gotten quite accustomed to this and is now begins casting a spell. For him, casting this spell is actually tapping out code on a little pad that he has on his wrist that's sending commands back to the suit. And inside, he's putting together little tiny bits of the most specific filigreed metal and crystal and gems. He presses one button and it goes. Tiny little needle comes out of it and lands like a USB stick, bedding into it. And then suddenly a green verdant energy just infuses out of it. And I'm going to cast Bestow Virus.
Oof. Okay.
Having looked at the code and has written a perfect Trojan horse for it.
A counteracting. Yep, exactly.
Antivirus.
An antivirus. Yeah, there you go.
Norton. I've created Norton.
Oh my god, in a D&D game. How crazy is this?
Conjure Norton antivirus.
Okay. You...
Impressive.
This is just fantastic. So, this embeds itself into the code of Venom. And for a moment, Al, because you're outside, Venom goes dark.
I am preparing. I'm not actually preparing to cast a spell, but I'm getting ready to prepare to cast a spell.
Oh no. It should work.
We're gonna go to Caché.
Oh dear.
Because I'm mean.
Oh.
Caché. My dear, what are you doing?
So the first thing she's going to do is she's going to find one of those little creature servants.
Okay.
And she's hoping, beyond hoping, that it should be easy for one of these fiendish creatures to get me sulfur.
I mean, what do you want sulfur for? Just...
I need it.
But for what?
An experiment. How about that?
Persuasion check.
Come on. Oh, natural 20. 29.
Okay.
28, sorry.
So... Okay. Well, I don't really know why you want it, but... Then you just watch as this little thing starts making a really weird face.
Oh no!
And just shits in its hand. And hands it to you.
Much obliged.
It's warm. It's gross.
That is canon for all my demons going forward. That is phenomenal.
There's a handful of hot sulfur.
That's why there's a smell of sulfur. They're just shitting everywhere.
The fucking shitty.
Fire and brimstone, more like fire and ass.
The little thing walks away, and you just hear, I don't know why she wants it. That's really fucking weird. There's this few of them just talking. Sorry, I'm laughing too hard. Yeah, they're trying to figure out. You're actually starting to see more of them as well. Like they're not being
They're not hiding as much.
As much. Anyway,
So
you now have some sulfur.
yeah. So Caché remembers like half falling asleep on the couch one night as Gizmo was relenting on one of his experiments on how sulfur and the air oxidizes and turns gold a darker color. So she's going to basically start rubbing this sulfur all over her helmet to try and darken it to change to change its color to black.
Okay.
This is actual science.
So, yes, okay, it would be actual science if your helmet was actually made out of gold. Correct? I don't think it's made out of gold.
It's plated.
So
I love as I do, like, it's, even if that does work scientifically, in fantasy world, you're just rubbing shit on your helmet.
No, yeah.
So, Artrin, in his horror, watches you take this handful of steaming hot sulfur shit and start vigorously rubbing it against your pristine, beautiful golden panther helmet. I can't wait to share that with Adam when I see him next. So, for fantasy sake, yes, you can spend the next little while polishing your helmet. You're wanting to make it black, is that correct?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay.
It oxidize and chemical reaction will turn it black.
Sure.
I didn't. Now, to be fair, this was way cooler in my head because I didn't know that it was canon and how you got sulfur.
Whatever.
I need water. Hang on.
That's
Okay.
mental.
So, stop laughing. Ooh, okay, pull it together. Whew. Yeah, so you can spend some time doing that. I'm never gonna be able to look at your helmet the same. Exactly.
Oh.
Poor Archon is horrified watching all of this. But you complete your task. Your helmet is now black. And as you finish whatever the fuck you're doing, you actually, the door to the room that you're currently staying in is kind of ajar. That's where some of these creatures have come in and out and stuff. And you hear Razlaire slowly kind of speaking to someone and walking down the hallway.
Speaking to someone.
Mhm.
Can I hear from where I am?
You can, yeah.
Just
Do you speak Abyssal?
comprehend languages.
Okay. You cast comprehend languages on yourself?
Yeah.
Mark that spell slot off.
I will.
Okay. Perfect. So you hear you hear Razlaire speaking, and a woman's voice, probably one of the most stunning sounding voices, very low in the chest, so speaking with like the chest voice, as she's walking, and you hear, "The wards are secure. There's no way the fox will find her way inside now." Razlaire kind of, "Well, she'll find a way. She always does. Please keep a close eye on our businesses in the red light district. She likes to target those." The woman speaks again. "My girls are well capable of handling themselves. But we haven't heard from some of the lords. Bernhardt in particular. It's unlike him. He usually prefers the touch of us over his wives." Kind of a laugh they share together. At this point, they're moving away from you.
Lord Bernhardt, you said, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Do I recognize that name?
You do. Bernhardt is... You'd think I'd remember this by now, but anyway. Bernhardt is one of the noble families of the city of Minera. Head of the True Foundation, the Architecture Guild. Mainly responsible after the war for rebuilding Minera. And, like, fixing everything. They mainly deal with ground architecture, not sky. They don't deal with building sky ships or anything like that.
Would that include underground architecture?
Potentially. One thing that you would know about them is that they're very, a prestigious family.
They wouldn't want that known.
If they're involved, they definitely wouldn't want that known.
Okay. Interesting. I'm going to go, nonchalantly pretend I'm doing something closer to the door. I don't understand this language anyway, and see if I can hear what they're saying.
Okay, we're just going to the door?
Unless I can't hear them, and then, in which case I'll make a decision.
Okay. I'd say you do you can still kind of hear them at the door, but they're moving away from you. Potentially, they're actually moving more towards like where Razlaire and Al were. So potentially like a study of his. But they are moving away from you.
I'm ready to go anyway, so I'm going to follow them sneakily but nonchalantly, if you know what I mean. So if they're like turned around, I'm like, I'm ready to go.
Okay. Still make a stealth check if you're trying to somewhat be like not a part of.
That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
I have a plus 12 to stealth.
Jesus, how?
What bard?
Oh, the bard. Yeah. You also, I think you're proficient in that as a voidling, so yeah.
Yeah.
You should have actually rolled with advantage, to be honest, because this place is literally lit in candles and darkness.
That's worse.
Okay, cool. All right, dirty 20 it is. Continuing to listen, you hear, just keep me informed when he does return. His debt is coming due at the next full moon, and I'm finished offering him extensions. I'm ready to see him beg. And you kind of hear again, that kind of giggles, and she goes, what if Miss Emberglade? Ugh, she's witless. It astounds me, really, that she's going to inherit the Silver Vaults. But indulge her fantasies. Keep her on our hook, and try not to drain her dry, please. And the woman kind of continues on.
Silver Vault?
Silver Vaults, yep. And Emberglade, you recognize those names. Emberglade is, you heard Miss Emberglade, so you're not sure who, but is another very, very, very high up family. They're actually one of the top 3 in Minera. Emberglade own the Silver Vaults, which is the banking. All money that courses through Minera is housed and overseen by the Emberglades. It is rumored that that there is a member of the Emberglades on the Conclave of Industry. Not the other Conclave. Not that there is another Conclave.
Okay.
So the general sense is that they have their hands in many
pockets.
But Razlaire kind of continues on after that. You actually may do something for me, to keep an eye out for another name, if you don't mind. Their name is Helio. He's a fae, I believe. You hear her. Carnival Row? I'm not sure. Just make sure that none of the girls approach him, if they do find him. Just return to me with any information. I'd like to keep that close. Of course. Are your guests here to fix Venom? Indeed, they are. Then they will be fully operational again. That is the plan. Razlaire the voice is tightening now a little bit, of like, why are you asking kind of thing. And you get, we'll need all the help we can get, especially now that myself and my guests have pissed off the fox, too, might I add. And the kind of woman slows in her pace now at this point. You actually hear both of them stop. They're ahead of you, but kind of around a corner. And the voice drops a little bit, and you hear, the Grand General has still not returned, though we have seen his second in command about the city. Razlaire you hear movement. Have you seen the envoy? No, not yet. It's just Captain Melody. Keep an eye on her, and the second the general returns to Minera, you let me know. Of course. One last thing, Master. Yes, what is it? There are rumors of something happening in the city. In the underground. There's all a stir about Avashalirium. Ugh, the rebels again. They do not concern me. Well, they might, Razlaire. There's rumor that they have you in their crosshairs. He kind of laughs at that, but it's a little bit fake. It's a kind of putting it on at that point, and he kind of goes, yeah, me and all the other houses of industry at this point, who do they not want dead? But I will increase security around our establishments all the same. It's a quiet pause. Shall I double security around your elf pet? Or do you intend to keep him here like the last one? There is a noticeable shudder, Caché, that you even stop. The shadows gather around wherever they are. And it's not your darkness, it's not nightmare, it is something far more terrifying in that breath of moment that you share. That will be all, Onyx. Go. As you wish. You hear the...
I will, upon hearing that, sneak back a little bit, and then start walking down the hall a little bit louder, and then say, Razlaire, Razlaire.
Okay. You turn the corner, kind of calling his name. He's actually leaned up against one of the walls, waiting for you. Because you said his name a few times, so he had a chance to,
Ah, there you are.
What can I do for you?
I'm ready to leave.
Really? Without your friends?
They don't need to dirty their hands.
Where are you off to?
She's got to have her secrets, doesn't she?
They do. Keep them close, Caché. Where would you like to go?
You give me a map for a second?
Of course. So, for perspective, you are at the Brass Vault Casino over here.
Yeah.
You're way
yeah,
low, though. Yeah.
I think. Yeah, that and the clock, the South Cogs, I think.
South Cogs is where you want.
Yeah.
Do you say the South Cogs to him?
Yeah.
His face kind of purses a bit. Why ever do you want to go there? Dressed like that, I might add.
I mean, I'm dressed in my streets.
Also, why do you smell of sulfur?
had to change my look. And she puts on her new black gown.
He knows immediately what you did and just looks absolutely disgusted.
I didn't know they shitted.
Oh, God. Okay, well, if you're going there, you can't appear like this. And he'll kind of flick his wrist, and your clothes, I'm assuming you're in your street clothes.
Yeah.
They'll change slightly. They'll look a little bit more ragged and a little bit more not as fine and precise as like what you usually wear. But you notice that it's actually like a glamour. It's not real. It's just he's just kind of throwing something over you. Because if you show up like that, they're all going to run away depending on what you're wanting to do. Or they'll just cut your throat. Which, to be honest,
I've been to the South Cogs before. I think I'll survive.
Well, and he'll hold his hand out for you.
I'll slowly take it.
You grip it, and you once more through just fire and brimstone. It is painful but kind of hot, and you just get flung out now. He's there next to you, actually. You're in the South Cogs. Who knows? Some derelict alley that he's found himself. That there's no other people really around. You do see a few people walking by, but you're kind of clustered in the shadows. He kind of moves away from some of the items on you're just surrounded by just junk and rubbish, and it is not you've been to South Cogs, it's not a very nice place.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks, ugh. Well, whatever you're doing here, enjoy yourself. You have a way of contacting them, correct? Or should I just tell them that I've dropped you off somewhere?
No, I don't have a way of contacting. Oh, no, I do. I'm sending. It's okay.
Okay. He won't really wait for you to finish. To say it. He'll just kind of be like, he'll tap you on the shoulder, well, good luck, and then he'll just vanish.
Okay.
Okay, so he's left you.
Perfect. Caché will now go and travel like a local and take to the rooftops.
Ooh. Okay. Are you heading anywhere particular, or?
Yeah, I'm going to the hideout.
Oh, interesting. Okay. To the kids' hideout.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say
That's in the South Cogs, right?
What I will say for this is, you can go definitely to where they were before, but they've moved. I believe they left you a letter. I think
They did. Didn't they tell me where? I can't remember where I put.
that's okay. You can
that
still
information.
explore the South Cogs for a bit and see
Yeah.
the devastation and poor and poverty of the people of the lower parts of the city. It is way worse than the last time you were here. You were here probably about 2.5 weeks ago. A lot more of the buildings are kind of falling apart and derelict, and there's a noticeable hunger that people are facing here. They are being far more neglected. There's also, while you're here, since you're in the South Cogs, it's just actually probably cool that you're here, but you've actually noticed that a wall has been started to be erect around the South Cogs to you already know that there's a big wall here to block the city, the Gem Ward in particular, seeing the South Cogs, but now there's almost this kind of man-made wall going here as well. Yeah.
Into the city.
So the kids' new hideout is at the clock tower in one of the main squares. It's actually here.
Okay, it's not too far. So yeah, I'll just rooftop it there.
Rooftop it there. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll leave you to rooftop it there. And we'll jump back to you two. So.
Oh, God, no. What have I done?
Okay, so whatever you've done, Venom seems to have shut down.
I don't know. Like I was just targeting the the malicious code. It shouldn't have affected him like that.
Hello, Venom?
Hello?
No response.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I'm gonna fly back out.
I'd say maybe we should give him some space and wait.
We'll say as you go to fly back out, Gizmo. It's not the same because when it happened to you, you were in your suit. And the rebooting process that happened, you were able to watch it on your screens, on the sensors. You're realizing now that Venom doesn't have anything like that. There's no way to see a rebooting kind of system or any kind of system in them. But as you fly out to kind of like get a better view, you notice that core very slowly. And the light slowly kind of starts to come back. And then it spins again. You see the internal workings actually like it's kind of trying to power itself back up again. And you're recognizing that, oh, yeah, this happened to me actually as well. It's kind of rebooting.
Yeah.
And then it continues to go and go and go. And then the light begins to return back to the construct. And they sit back up. Kind of look at their hands. Where am I?
Minera?
Kind of looks to you, Gizmo. Helio?
No. I'm Gizmo.
Dathius. Bane. Glint. Stalker. And he just starts rattling names.
Easy. They're not most of the names you know. I know them too. They're not here. Stalker is here, but the rest are not.
Slowly, things are kind of clicking back into place. But they stay silent for quite a while, processing everything, it seems.
Take your time. It's a lot to compute. But if you'll allow us, we'd like to continue helping. You take whatever time you need, but we can get you back to fully functioning again.
Don't trust.
I understand. I do. It's the hardest thing to try and move past that, but you need to at some point. It's not worth it otherwise.
Helio. Just continue to say and repeat Helio's name over and over again.
We want to help like Helio did.
Both of your heart rates are elevated. You're scared of me.
Well, you are incredibly physically powerful.
Fear.
And a few moments ago, you were saying that you were built to hurt things.
I was. Am. Built to hurt things.
But do you want to?
I don't know.
Fair enough. I mean, that's better than yes. For us, anyway.
Good start.
They'll kind of place their hands out and just watch both of you very, very, very carefully. But they're still processing a lot. A lot.
Yeah. I would like to start to get to work on the figures.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So both of you can make Tinker's Tools check if you wish. And I know this is not fully building like a new thing, but Gizmo, you can use your ability there, depending on how much time you can knock off.
And Tinker's
Yeah, I
is-
think that's a quarter of the time usually taken for like creating a magic item.
I think so, yeah. Quarter of the
Is it
time. So, sorry, Al, what were you saying?
Sorry, I'm wondering what the bonus is. Is it proficiency in Dex?
So it's a D20 plus your Arcana and your tool proficiency.
Lovely.
Okay. So. Okay. Yeah.
Which I think, Gizmo, you can add double your proficiency.
Oh,
'Cause
so
you're an artificer.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Your
oh, God.
proficiency is crazy.
oh this is insane. This is like
This is literally what you're made for.
39.
Jesus, what did you
Oh,
roll?
nice. Yeah.
I rolled an 18.
An 18.
And if I have a +9 to Arcana, and if I get the proficiency from the tool, I get to double that, which is +8. And then I have a Tinker's Tools +3.
+3. Yeah, it's crazy. 39.
Or what is it? All-purpose tool.
All-purpose tool, yeah, +3.
Yeah.
Al, what was yours?
32.
32. What?
Oh wait, no, sorry, 33. I got +1 Tinker's Tools.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn. Okay, so
That's pretty awesome.
I'd say you get this done in an hour between the two of you. One of you
Hey,
like, literally
nice.
in a hand each, basically.
Yeah.
I will say they'll watch you very, very closely. But Al, I believe it was you who found this before. Not to metagame. I'm going to try really hard not to metagame. But Al, as you're working on Venom's hand, you also see, just like Gizmo saw, that some of the scales that are used to transform them into different forms, the changeling ability, some of those scales on the hands are missing. And you've seen those scales before. Very similar shape and color to the ones you found in the House of Clocks.
Huh?
Surrounding the body of Therian Hall.
Yes. Okay. Let me point that out to Gizmo. Just be like, remind me to tell you about these scales later.
What about them?
Probably best not to discuss it now. I don't really know, to be honest.
Do you think it's going to be important to the repair work?
Nope.
Then I can wait till later.
Why are you helping me?
For the dual purpose, really. I mean, Razlaire asked me if I could help him with you. And... well, it's nice to help It's nice to help others, and you're a very interesting other, so...
That is a strange concept. To help when nothing is to be gained for you.
Knowledge and experience. I've never really worked on an envoy before. I've always wanted to.
I have memories. Fleeting moments. I don't understand them.
Maybe it'll take some time.
Time. Continue to just watch you both. And in a way, I'd say, because for both of you seem so connected to working on constructs before, this entity is like, have you seen those movies where someone sits someone down in front of a TV screen and it is like, it's just flashing images of just like, and they're like downloading all of that or the information or however. That is literally what Venom looks like at the moment. So many different things are flashing before them. And the bits and times that they're trying to speak to you, it's like there's a moment of pause and then it just continues again. It's like you're wondering, Gizmo, slightly to yourself, if this is what would have happened if Stalker was fully in their body when this happened. But the fact that they were connected to you and synchronized with you, that you didn't have the full experience.
The full interface.
Yeah.
It did its best to convert the files to a format I could download.
Yeah. Well, and it's it's a much smaller entity. You're dealing with a full-blown envoy at this point. Like, Stalker was just the core. But okay, you guys want to move to the ribs? I'd say you could probably do that in 2 hours with that roll. This is just 38 and 33 is just crazy. So 39, sorry. So I'd say if you're wanting to spend a few more hours working on the other bits.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we'll just keep going. Yeah.
Just keep going. Okay.
I think we're in a bit of a fugue state at this point, just like builders, just like working away.
Razlaire does appear once in a while. Pulls you kind of away from everything, Al, gently. More just to feed you food and wine. Offer it to Gizmo, but won't be as touchy-feely.
I'll partake of a grape.
Okay.
Big meal.
Yeah.
Big meal.
Yeah. I'll be so full.
All his water for the day as well.
He'll just Razlaire will just appear every few hours, basically to make you both stop and eat, and then leaves again. And you hear laughter, you hear different voices coming from downstairs and around the house. There's definitely entities moving in and out of this space, but you two are again in your fugue state, working away. So to replace the hands, you just need to you get kind of like I think it's called it's not tinsel, but it's tinsel or something. I think that's what I named it. Cabling that mimics tendons, so you're able to replace the damage on the hand plates. There is lightweight alloy, basically, that you need to use, and you replace the anchors for the fingers, so they're all fully intact now after the hour of work. Moving on to the exposed ribs, you have to reroute kind of like the feedback system. And some of the internal connections with the legs. Pretty easy to do. Everything connects back to the central Ethereum core. You repair and strengthen the gear systems, the linkages, off on to the transfer of motion, the synchronization programs, everything. You actually have Venom walk a bit to test out. You have to recalibrate a bit, go again. There's such strength to their the lower extension of their body that it takes a few times to recalibrate and get just right, so he doesn't just go flat through the floor. Yeah.
How many tiles do we crack?
There's a few. You definitely break a few. You hear kind of a for fuck down below as like things get.
I'll calibrate the all-purpose tool with mending and then like repair that as it goes.
repair the floor. And you also do see that there are titanium like ribs left, like plates that you can use as ribs, basically. And you fit those again into parts of Venom and fix that up. Again, few hours pass. And I'd say the last thing then is, yeah, with the Baso virus in there, restoring the memory, the backup system, that's all been done. How about the two of you just make me one last roll there? We'll see how you do on the simulation algorithms.
What's the roll?
Same thing. Same roll. Tinker's Tools.
Same roll?
Yeah.
Jeez.
We're kind of pulling everything together.
I'm just because I can as well. I'm going to use Flash of Genius.
Flash of Genius. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Just because you can.
Yeah, just because I can.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay, Al.
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Gizmo.
44.
Yes.
44. Damn.
Yeah. If only we had Caché to inspire, we could get above 50, like.
I know, yeah.
Oh my god! Wow. 44. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like, I'd say.
You definitely are.
I can build my own envoy now.
No, I'd say at the point, like,
Yeah.
you have actually made Venom better.
Yes, you
Then
improved.
They have improved. There is going to be no misfiring in the sense of if they need to send energy or power to different locations. You actually have them test out the shield generator. It would be very difficult to get through as it pops up. It's not the same as yours, Gizmo, because you have a shield type thing that comes up as a bonus action. This is actually like surrounds Venom and would be something.
Like a wall of force or
it's
something.
A wall
like.
of force in the sense that you would actually need to do damage to the shield to drop it before you could even get to Venom.
Yeah.
And
cool.
You also then notice too that the hands themselves, this is actually with that roll, you would actually know this. You're gonna just learn every cool ability that this envoy has. There's an enlarge ability as well. Stalker didn't have that. Stalker was very like lightweight, very very lightweight compared to Venom. Venom again is like if you put them in water, they're sinking. Like they're built, they're heavy built, but they can actually enlarge themselves, meaning that they would just be a terror, in a way. And I will say, with the very very high roll, you notice some programming that I will share with you because I think it's cool and I want you to know. They are not good at it at the moment because everything's kind of coming back to them and they're processing everything, but many of the programs that you recognize, Gizmo, and you're kind of seeing, this entity was built for interrogation, for torture, that's why they're so observant. And it's not a mental observing like Stalker. It is a physical. They will see every break in bone. They will see every weakness. They know exactly where to hit someone and hit them hard. I can't tell if he's... Okay, yeah. No, you're there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. I'm just absorbing that.
So interrogation was their main focus, while Stalker was more infiltration.
I think, like, taking that in, not even fully, like, being aware of it, he will kind of subconsciously start flying back towards and get back into the suit. So, like, from his perspective, like, flick on scans and take more readings, but I think there's a little bit of, like, fear element in the back of his mind. It's like, oh, we'll just be a bit more protected.
Yeah.
You made him stronger.
Yeah. I'd say you guys definitely put some hit points on him and beefed up a lot of those abilities.
Boy, I sure hope he doesn't turn on us.
That's okay, we're all friends here now.
Is he still assimilating?
Still assimilating. Not as much though.
Slowing down, like.
Slowing down a little bit, yeah.
I'll take a few kind of steps back. That I suppose with with Al.
Mhm.
So I guess we did it.
I think so.
Yeah,
No,
those
be
hours
honest.
really blended together. Whoa.
It's been hours. Well, it's only been about 15 minutes.
It's definitely been longer than that. Razlaire kept coming in to remind us.
Yes, that's true. All those snacks.
Yes. We've definitely had at least 7 snacks, however many units of time that is.
7 Razlaire's worth.
Sorry.
Are you using Razlaire as a unit of time now? What is your relationship?
Good question. I mean, it's only been... I'm not clever enough to do it out of character, but in character I'd like to think that Al would know exactly how many units of Razlaire it's been since we met.
Aww.
69.
Yeah, definitely 69.
It's probably been more like 69,666 and 69.
Jesus, what are we measuring in? Hang on.
Razlaire's.
I don't think we should
That's
talk
a
about
fascinating-
how large Yeah, I don't think we need to be talking about that on the podcast.
Not how long.
Fascinating
how long.
conversation. Can't wait to dive into your psychology. Meanwhile, we're on the cusp of a scientific breakthrough over here. I think he's coming close to
Sorry.
absorbing the information.
Trying to figure out when did you meet Razlaire? Oh! You met Razlaire on game 20.
Like day 2.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We've done so much.
Yeah.
So, yes. Venom is starting to come to. Because we should probably tell Razlaire. Maybe we should ask Venom about Razlaire.
How much do you think you'll want to give up?
Venom? Don't know. I don't know how much they will remember.
That's the thing. Honestly, we're not even really sure how he's going to react. We should be ready for anything.
I have Dimension Door prepared.
Great. Not worried at all now, so.
I definitely still am.
Yeah, no, me too, I was lying.
Neither of you are very good at hiding it.
No, well, you can detect our heartbeat, so that does help.
Both are still elevated.
Yes, we know. You're very perceptive.
You really
It's also
should.
partially down to the excitement.
Yes, but elevated heart rates and high blood pressure is not good for mortal bodies.
You'd be a very good doctor.
I assure you, I would not.
Probably not the elderly.
Oh, brittle bones.
Hmm.
Venom rises smoothly now. Walks.
Hey, buddy. How are you doing?
Extends their hands. Kind of. There's no cracking like bones, but there is a bit of tension with the metal. You see the core kind of power up, and their hand gets like steel almost, just really strong, and kind of cups his fists and then lets it go.
Don't
They're-
go breaking those new fingers we gave you.
Yeah, they're kind of exploring all the different. Ah! kind of.
I knew I should have added those washers.
But they'll look at the two of you. remember when you first came in a few hours ago. I still don't quite understand your purpose here, what you'll gain, but I never fully understood why Helio or Dathius worked on us either. Your minds are unique.
As is yours.
That's why we wanted to help.
You said Stalker was with you.
Aye. Though not as you remember him.
May I see?
Of course. Stalker.
Stalker appears. And Gizmo, Al, this is the first time that you see a bit of sadness on the envoy's face. Their face shape actually moves slightly. What happened to you? Stalker replies with, I was made anew, just like you. And to kind of share slightly moment of quiet between the two, you're kind of feeling that it's similar to what Humphrey and Stalker had before. But it is also like a download, and Venom turns to you, Gizmo, in your suit. I understand now. Thank you for what you did.
Of course.
I assume, by what Stalker has shared with me, that you have questions.
I'd like to know anything that you know about Helio. But also anything you can remember specifically to do with the army and what tasks you were sent to.
They will hold out their hand to you.
I will, in the suit, take their hand.
There is a transfer. Do you accept?
Do you know and trust Venom? Yes.
Oh, take me back.
Pit Defender has warned this is.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution save.
Okay. $27.
Oof. Oof. Gizmo, these rolls tonight are just... oof.
No initiative, that's why.
That's why. No fights. Alright, 5 memories are transferred to you. Copies of them, at least. Do
I
with
will.
that what you will.
Store them in place for now.
Venom seems content for a time, looking at both of you. Razlaire kind of knocks gingerly at the door. Are you... Oh, look! Oh! He's standing. This is promising. Actually, and he kind of... You see Razlaire's eyes get a bit wider. Oh only left you in here for 15 hours. He's fully fixed.
15 hours?
15 hours. Do you not remember all the
Oh.
times I came in here and made sure you were eating?
So a Razlaire is approximately
2 hours.
and 1/15.
Aye, okay. Good to know.
What? I don't.
Oh,
You're a unit of time now.
I've always been a unit of time, though.
yes, 2 hours and 1/15 of an hour.
Yeah, we've managed to quantify it. It's some of the best work we've done, and that includes what we did today.
Clearly, yes. And he kind of.
I'm
pushes
maybe a
past-
little delirious. I'm very tired.
I do believe you probably need some sleep. Just looks over Venom, and Venom looks at Razlaire, and the two of them, they share a moment, not of sharing information, but just of understanding. And you just see Razlaire smile, and Venom just kind of nod. Well, I'm looking forward to working with you fully as yourself. Choice, of course, if you want to continue what we've started. Venom just nods. Good. Turns back to the two of you. Brilliant work. I think I'll keep you around.
Is that a promise or a threat?
I'll let you decide.
We are in need of housing.
Yes. About that. One of your companions hasn't returned. I'm assuming they've been in contact with you?
Oh. Not yet.
Right. Well, I'm sure she's fine.
Where did Caché go?
I think I've been sworn to secrecy. Come.
Just tell us it wasn't somewhere the military are likely to be.
No.
Oh, well then.
Okay then.
A relief.
She can handle herself.
Yes.
The confidence you have in your friends, it's very good. Ill-founded, but very good. Shall we eat? He begins to walk out.
I just turned to Al. I don't like that guy. I keep going.
Humphrey.
I stop when I stare at Razlaire as he walks.
Oh, you stare at him as he goes?
Yeah, just looking at him. Admiringly.
Kind of senses you looking, glances back at you, gives you a wink. So, leaving you both still in Razlaire's lounge, with food aplenty, 15 hours have passed, the exhaustion hits you, and everything. Caché, checking in with you real fast.
Yes.
You're heading to the children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, in terms of that, that leads us to our one shot that we talked about. So, you and I will do that sometime. Probably before next game then. And I will chat to Artrin as well about what he was doing. Hopefully not rubbing shit on things. But I think we will call it there for tonight. Well done. I did not expect you guys to fix Venom so fast. Nor go for the core or go for the memories first. Or not the memories. You know what I'm talking about. The bestow virus first. That was fascinating. I'm actually kind of glad. Out of game. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Oh, yes.
We'll see you next game. I'm about to reveal shit, so bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
No, but seriously, like.